right now, like you just ate or you had a really full meal recently, I'm going to recommend that you turn me off and come back later when you have an emptier stomach. Otherwise, the first part of class might just be a little bit uncomfortable. And you're going to need either a yoga blanket or a towel to start. We won't use props all class, so if you don't have them, everyone should have a towel. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the little rectangle of my towel and I'm going to make small accordion folds. So I wish that I had a yoga blanket. I keep meaning to order one, but this will have to make do in the meantime. So I basically make small accordion folds until I have this nice long folded accordion shape on my mat. I'll put it in the center, and you'll take the bottom part of the fold and just make a little ball. So you can see that the rest of my blanket is still long and I have this sort of rolled up nub, and I'm gonna lay down flat on that nub and it's gonna come right underneath my belly button. So you'll sort of have to move and adjust a little bit to find the right spot, but not too high on the belly, but kind of right in between the pelvis and the belly button. And then you'll quickly understand why I said don't be on a full stomach. Just come and rest your forehead. Breathe. And then I suggest that you're going to start to kind of roll the hips from one side to the other. So the blanket, I'm going to turn my head just so you can hear me clearly. The blanket will serve as sort of this tactical massage point. And I just want you, by rolling the hips, you're sort of rolling the flesh of the lower belly right over that ball and getting really kind of deep into the organs. And it could feel really uncomfortable, especially if you have kind of a more sensitive tummy inside. Or it might feel like nothing, which in case, good for you. And you're just going to use your breath and your own movement, rolling from side to side. Now we say a lot in yoga that you hold emotion in the hips, which is partly true, but we also, a lot of us tend to hold emotions in our bellies, right? That's why when you feel something, we often say you feel it in the pit of your stomach. Or when you feel something, you feel it to your core, the core of your being. So just be mindful as you sort of massage and roll and breathe here what this is bringing up for you. If you ignored my advice and have a full stomach, probably it's maybe you feel like you're going to throw up. So again, best to do this on an emptier stomach. And give yourself a few more breaths. Okay, and then stop the kind of rolling of the hips from side to side. Pause and center. Again, try to find a little bit more softness in the belly. See if you can let the skin and the muscle almost dissolve over that little ball of towel or blanket. Okay, and then you'll take your hands back and sort of gingerly move yourself off the little nub. I sort of untuck the blanket and then press back into a wide child's pose. Give yourself a couple of moments here. The forehead can just rest on the towel or blanket. Feel the softness in the hip flexors as you pull back through the arms. Keep them active, like downward facing dog arms. Okay, and then you'll come up to sit, and you're gonna need to rearrange your blanket, so you'll undo those nice accordion folds. You'll come back out into your rectangle shape. And just like we did in last week's class, you'll make a little pool noodle shape, just a nice tight roll. If your towel is too thin, you might need to get 2 towels, because you do want to have some real estate when it comes to the towel. And you're gonna come forward, have Vajrasana leg, so knees and shins and ankles are together, and then you're gonna deeply tuck that towel in the crease of your knee and your calf, and then you'll sit back. And if everything is working out, like you have the right size of the towel and it's aligned appropriately, it should feel like a deep pressing and massage on the calf, and also possibly the lower hamstring. And then you can also kind of roll the hips a little bit from side to side here, like you were doing on your belly, but now seated. So that you're using the towel to partially massage the muscles of the calf, hamstring, and also experience a deeper squeezing of the lower and the upper leg toward one another. Okay, and then you'll come forward. You'll move that roll to the middle, so sort of halfway between where the knee was and the ankle. And again, sit back and we'll have a little bit of a different feeling. And again, you can just kind of rock a little bit from side to side slowly, moving that towel or blanket around in space so that you get a massage. This one will be mostly feeling on the lower part of the calf. But again, feel this very tight union or bind of the upper leg and the lower leg. Okay, and then last thing here, take the roll, put it right on the back of the Achilles above the heel, sit back. Probably won't feel too much sensitivity here, especially this roll is a little thinner than I would like. But do allow the rolling of the towel to assist in, first of all, bringing your sit bones a little bit more firmly in their connection to the backs of your heels or your ankles. And also this slightly passive stretch of the tops of the feet here. Take advantage of that. Feel the softness of your belly as you breathe. We'll take one Om here to formally open our practice. And my mantra or my intention for today's practice is coming back to a quote from a teacher training that I did last September in Portugal. But how I do one thing is how I do everything. So be mindful that the way that you approach today's practice is representative of the way that you approach many other things in your life. That means if you allow yourself to be distracted, probably you're allowing for distractions in many other areas. If you're holding on to negative energy while you practice, very likely you're holding on to negative energy elsewhere off the mat. 1 Om. Taking in breath. Okay. Take your blanket off to the side. We won't need it till the very end of class. And you'll come on your hands and knees. And I want you to start cat-cow on your own timing, using the inhalation to arch into cow pose and the exhalation to round into cat. And take a few cycles of breath on your own, simply to warm and move up the spine. And you could do it very symmetrically like I am doing, or you could also roll the spine, roll the chest, roll the hips, so it's a little bit more of a circular movement. Okay, and the next time that you round into cat, pause there for a moment, allow the belly to pull back and up, still keeping that softness that we were trying to create after the massage. And then inhale, drop your belly, open your chest, take a deep breath in. As you exhale, empty out all the air out of the mouth, tuck your toes, don't breathe in, stay empty. On empty, straighten your legs, press back into downward facing dog, mock inhalation, widen the rib cage. And then inhale. Release the bandha, exhale, empty. We'll do one more together just to get the hang of it. Inhale, drop the knees, open the chest, deep breath in. Exhale, empty out all the air out of the mouth. On empty, straighten the legs, don't breathe in, mock inhalation. You should feel Uddiyana Bandha activating here. Inhale. And very slowly walk yourself to the top of your mat. Pause in Uttanasana. Release the wrists. You can roll them around a little bit. Release the fingers. Move your head a little bit from side to side. Give yourself a couple breaths here in this Uttanasana. I'm just going to turn on the music. And then either inhaling or even on empty, soften your knees, tuck your tailbone one vertebra at a time to round up to stand. On empty, pause. Then inhale, take a deep breath in. Exhale, deep breath out. Okay, step your right foot way back so you're wide on the mat. Toes pointing out, heels pointing in. And then soften into a wide squat. You can place your hands on your sort of lower thighs. Inhale, take a deep breath in. Exhale, twist to the right by letting the left shoulder just draw in. Inhale, come back up to neutral. Exhale, right shoulder dives in as you twist. Inhale, stand up all the way, lift the palms together. As you exhale, adjust your feet, move into warrior two. Inhale, tip back, reverse warrior. Exhale, hands down to the mat, step back, downward facing dog. Inhale, drop your knees, arch the spine. Deep breath in, cow pose. Exhale, empty out all the air out of the mouth as you round to cat. On empty, straighten the legs, find Uddiyana Bandha, mock inhalation. Keep the belly soft as you do that. And then inhale to release. Exhale. Inhale, right leg up, 3-point pose. Exhale, open the hip, bend the knee, squeeze the right heel towards the right sit bone. Inhale, draw your right knee out to the right, keep squeezing the lower leg. And then exhale, bring the shoulders over the wrists, squeeze your knee into your upper arm. Inhale, step the right foot outside the right hand, tap the back knee, look forward. Exhale, lengthen and fold. Inhale, tap the back knee, open the chest. Exhale, lengthen and fold. One more, inhale, tap the back knee, open the chest. Exhale, lengthen and fold. Inhale, rebend your right knee, step your left foot outside of your left hand. Fold as you exhale. On empty, don't breathe in, bend the knees, tuck the tailbone, slowly round up to stand. And then inhale, bring the arms overhead. Exhale, hands down the center line. Inhale, bend your knees deeply, start to squat forward. Don't let your hips go too low until you feel your torso in line with your upper thighs. And then as you inhale, breathe your arms forward, reach your sit bones back, try to keep working the outside of the rib cage into the inner thighs. Press into your feet, stand up all the way. Exhale, right foot in, left foot in, hands down the center line, Anjali Mudra. Inhale, step your left foot wide on the mat, toes turn out. Bend the knees deeply, hands on the lower thighs. Inhale, take a breath, pause. Exhale, twist to the left, right shoulder towards the midline. Inhale, come to neutral. Exhale, left shoulder turns. Inhale, stand up all the way, bring the hands above you. Exhale, Virabhadrasana 2. Inhale, reverse warrior, tip back. Exhale, hands down, frame the front foot, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Inhale, tap the knees, open the chest, breathe in as much air as you can. Exhale, empty out all the air out of the mouth. On empty, straighten the legs, mock inhalation. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, left leg lifts, 3-point pose. Exhale, open the hip, bend the knee, squeeze the left heel towards the left sit bone. Inhale, track your left knee out to the left, keep squeezing the lower leg. As you exhale, shoulders over the wrist, squeeze the knee into the outer upper left arm. Inhale, step the left foot wide outside the hand, tap the back knee, open the chest. Exhale, lengthen and fold. 2 more, inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, rebend the left knee, step your right foot outside of the right hand. Exhale, fold, wide-legged Uttanasana. On empty, bend the knees, tuck the tailbone 1 vertebra at a time to round up. Inhale, bring the arms overhead. Exhale, Anjali Mudra. Start to bend your knees, send the sit bones back. Don't send them totally low, so sit bones back, chest forward. Inhale, bring the arms forward, try to get the torso on the inside of those thighs. And stand up all the way. Left foot in, right foot in, hands down the center line. Pause for a moment in Tadasana. How you do one thing is how you do everything. So even this Tadasana, let it be deliberate and intentional. Step your right foot wide on the mat. Again, toes point out. And then inhale, come and squat down. Hands can rest on the lower thighs again. Take a breath, release the shrugging of the shoulders slightly. Kapalabhati on the exhalation. slow it down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale. Exhale, empty out all the air out of the mouth as you twist the left shoulder in. Inhale, come to neutral. Exhale, simply twist to the left. Inhale, stand up, straighten the arms overhead. Exhale, descend into warrior 2. Adjust the feet as you need to. Inhale, hold here. Exhale. Feel the lowest part of your belly still lifting up. Long torso. 1 inhalation to tip back, reverse warrior, stay low in that left thigh. Exhale, cartwheel the hands, step back, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Inhale, simply come forward to plank, shoulders over the wrists. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg lifts, 3-point pose. Exhale, open the hip, bend the right knee, and then stay here. Keep working the right knee up towards the ceiling. Try to heavy the right shoulder a little bit so you don't completely collapse on the left side. And then actively squeeze your right heel towards your right sipple. Inhale, take a breath here. And then exhale, 1 movement, just slowly track the shoulders over the wrist. Let your right knee come and hug the right upper arm. Inhale, take a breath, look forward. Exhale, lower down about halfway, chaturanga arms. Inhale, straighten the arms, keep that right knee attached. Exhale, lower halfway. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, lower halfway. Inhale, straighten, step the right foot outside the hands. Exhale, pause. Inhale, tap the back knee, open the chest. Then exhale, fold. 3 breaths to hold here. Try to think about getting the inner right side of the rib cage on the inner right thigh. Inhale, rebend your right knee. Step the left foot outside of the left hand. Fold for a moment. And then look forward. Straighten your arms out as if they were in downward dog, so you're in a very short and wide downward facing dog. Pull the chest back for a moment so you get a long stretch through the side body. And then as you inhale, look forward, keep the arms straight, squeeze the inner elbows towards one another, rise onto the very tippy part of your toes, squeeze, 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 feel the lower belly lifting. And then exhale, release the heels, soften the knees, slowly round up to stand. Inhale, bring the arms overhead. Exhale, Anjali Mudra. Inhale, bend the knees, sit back, sit back, sit back. Extend the arms forward, send your sit bones and fingers in opposite directions from one another. And then stand up all the way. Step your right foot in, step your left foot in. Anjali Mudra. Inhale, step your left foot wide. Find the alignment in the legs, bend the knees, wide squat. Take your hands on the lowest part of the thigh. And then again, inhale about halfway, Kapalabhati as you exhale. Start to slow it down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale. Exhale, empty out all the air out of the mouth as you twist to the left, right shoulder in. Inhale, come to neutral. Exhale, twist right, left shoulder in. Inhale, stand up all the way, bring the hands overhead. Exhale, adjust the feet, descend, warrior two. And you have about 3 breaths here to work the pose. See if you can still feel the lightness of the lower belly. Inhale, tip back, reverse warrior. Exhale, hands down to frame the front foot, downward facing dog. One inhalation to bring the shoulders over the wrists for plank pose. Squeeze the front ribs in. Exhale, press back. Inhale, left leg, 3-point pose. Turn the hip out, bend the left knee, squeeze the left heel towards the left sit bone. Keep reaching that left knee up, and then heavy your left shoulder down a little bit. Look at your own right knee and right hip, and if they've kind of come off the midline, bring them back into alignment as you keep reaching that left knee towards the ceiling. Okay, and then one breath to bring the left knee to the outer left arm, shoulders over the wrists. Inhale here. Exhale, lower about halfway. Don't collapse in the shoulders. Inhale, push up. Exhale, keep squeezing the left heel towards the left sit bone. Inhale, push up. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, push. Step the left foot outside of the left hand. Exhale. Inhale, tap the knee, open the chest. Exhale, fold. 3 breaths. Try to feel the left rib cage coming on the inside of that left thigh. Inhale, rebend your left knee. Step the right foot outside of the right hand. Fold in between the legs. Step your hands out so you're in, again, that very short downward facing dog shape. Press back for a moment. Inhale, look forward. Start to bring the weight over the hands, shoulders over the wrists. Rise onto the very tippy parts of your toes. And then exhale, release. On empty, bend the knees, tuck the tailbone 1 vertebra at a time to round up. Inhale. Bring the arms overhead for a moment. As you exhale, bend the knees, sit the bum back. Come into your squat. Extend the arms forward, fingers forward, hips back. See if you can descend the torso even more in between your inner thighs. Press into the feet, stand up all the way. Left foot in, right foot in. Pause in Tadasana. You might close your eyes. See if you can soften the periphery of the body. Feel the weight even on 2 feet. Okay, 1 round Surya A together. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, fold over your legs. Inhale, prepare, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, bend the knees, plant the hands and either jump or step back. Roll over the toes, inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. 5 breaths. Push into your thumb and index finger on each side of the hands. And as you breathe, feel the softness of your lower belly. Bottom of your fifth breath, look forward, prepare, and then hop with a light belly up to the top of the mat. Lengthen, exhale, fold. Inhale, press into the feet, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, hands down the center line. 4 more cycles, Surya Namaskar A on your own. If you want to do something else, you're more than welcome. Remember that as you practice your Surya Namaskar, again, how you do one thing is how you do everything. Are you specific and deliberate with each pose? Do you bring a softness and lightness to the practice? With a certain amount of introspection. Practice Surya Namaskar A with the attitude and intention that you would like to have off the mat. Should have about 2 more rounds or a round and a half. And it sounds cheesy, but make it the best Surya Namaskar A that you've ever done. Bring that intensity on and off your mat. We're going to meet in Tadasana. When you reach Tadasana, make sure that the inner legs, the inner balls of the feet are together. Inhale, Utkatasana, bend the knees. Squeeze the inner thighs and knees together. Exhale, fold over the legs. We'll meet in downward facing dog, so any way you want to transition there is fine. On your inhale, right leg lifts up, 3-point pose. Exhale, ground the right foot to the right thumb, left heel grounds. Inhale, warrior one. And exhale, find the pose. See if you can get strong and heavy in the legs. And then lighter in the upper body by allowing the low belly to lift a little bit. Almost like you had puppet strings on your fingers and they were lifting you up. Inhale, take your hands behind you, interlace left thumb and index over right. Open the chest, tip back. And then exhale, bow the top of the head towards the floor on the inside of that right ankle. Then as you work your breaths here, try to feel the right side of the torso on the inner right thigh. Make sure the right hip isn't bowing out to the right. Okay, inhale, straighten your right leg, pull the knuckles back. Then exhale, as you turn, open the chest. You're in a slightly misaligned triangle. That's okay. Use the chest open here as you keep pulling the knuckles back, grounding into your feet, turn and open the chest a little bit more. Inhale, let the arms separate, float in space for a moment. Exhale, hands down, either stepping through a vinyasa or right into downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your left leg. Exhale, left foot to left thumb, right heel grounds. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, settle into the pose. Again, see if you can create that lightness in the upper body. Lower belly softening and floating up. Inhale, interlace your hands behind your back, right thumb over left. Open the chest. Exhale, top of the head to the inside of the ankle and foot. And then again, try to feel the connection of the left ribs into the inner left thigh. Don't let that left hip bow out to the left. Inhale, straighten your left leg and then turn the chest open. Wrap that left hip underneath you. You can even use your left forearm to sort of push the flesh of the left butt down a little bit. Keep reaching the knuckles back, opening the chest. Inhale, separate the arms. Exhale, cartwheel down. Step through either vinyasa or right into downward facing dog. Okay, without holds. Inhale, lift your right leg up. Exhale, right foot, right thumb, ground heel. Inhale into warrior one. Exhale. Inhale, interlace the hands behind your back, left thumb on top. Exhale, dive forward. Inhale, straighten your right leg. Exhale, turn and open the chest, reach the knuckles back. Inhale, fan the arms, triangle. Exhale, step back, either Chaturanga Dandasana or downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your left leg. Exhale, left foot, left thumb, ground the right heel. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale. Inhale, interlace the hands, right thumb over left. Exhale, dive forward. Inhale, straighten your left leg. Exhale, turn and open, pull the knuckles back. Inhale, float the arms. Exhale, Chaturanga or Adho Mukha Svanasana. We'll do one more time on the right and then you'll do it by yourself. Inhale, lift your right leg. Exhale, right foot, right thumb, ground the left heel. Inhale, Virabhadrasana one. Exhale. Inhale, left thumb over the right, interlace, pull back in the chest. Inhale, straighten your legs. Exhale, turn and open the chest, pull the knuckles back. Inhale, float the arms. Exhale, step back. And then you'll do your left side on your own. Downward facing dog, pause. About 5 breaths here. You need to briefly towel off or get some water, feel free to do so. I'm dying over here as usual. From downward dog, look forward. Take your right hand, step it about 2 palm prints back on the mat, flip the wrists so the fingers point back. You can bend the knees if you need to, and then you want to try to go towards downward dog. You won't go all the way. Just stretch your right wrist out a little bit. Okay, and then switch. Replace the right hand, step the left hand back. Release. And then you can either hop or just walk your feet forward to the top of your mat. Fold. Maybe you take the backs of the hands to the floor now, squeezing the elbows in, taking the wrist stretch in the opposite direction. Music has decided it has concluded its time with us. Inhale, bend the knees, send the sit bones back, Utkatasana. And then stand up, straighten all the way, Tadasana. Okay, you're gonna bend the right knee. Take your right hand onto the top of the knee. You can have your left hand on your left hip. And then feel the flexion of your right hip in the socket. So right heel again is still drawing towards your right sit bone. Open the right knee out to the right as if you're opening a door. Right knee will be a little bit higher than we normally practice, so I really want you to feel the flexion in the right hip. Extend the left arm towards the ceiling, so find complete length on the left side of the body. Okay, and then bring the right knee back to center. You're going to reach with your left hand underneath your right foot and your right hand underneath your right shin. So the palms are facing up and the log of your right shin just sort of hangs in the hands. So you're in a very deep external hip rotation on that right leg. And then bend the knee, send the sit bones back, stay soft in that belly, keep lifting the shin, lifting the shin, lifting the shin, and then place your ankle over the left knee, flex the foot, fingers to the floor, straighten your left leg. You're in ankle to knee pose standing. And again, look at your left leg, make sure it's not drifting out to the left with that left hip. And inhale, look forward, slight lengthening of the spine, unthread the right foot, step it way back, stand up all the way, turn both feet in, and then take your hands behind your back. I'm going to suggest reverse prayer so that you get a little bit of stretching, not only across the collarbones, but mainly in the wrists. Lengthen the chest upward, tip back a little bit. And then exhale, forward fold. Try not to slide on your mat. Okay, and then you have a few breaths here to work the forward fold, or if you're interested in coming upside down, you can go ahead and just come up. Be here about 5 breaths or so. Okay, if you've come up, you'll lightly come down. Okay, lengthen your spine. Turn the left toes out, crawl yourself around towards the front of your mat, and simply step back, downward facing dog. And then inhale, tap your knees, open the chest, take in as much air as you can. Exhale, empty out all the air out of your mouth as you round a cat. On empty, press back up. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, lift your right leg. Exhale, right foot to right thumb, left heel grounds. Inhale, Virabhadrasana 1. Exhale. Inhale, take your hands back around behind you, familiar territory, left thumb over the right, open the chest. Exhale, dive down, top of the head to the inside of that foot, don't let the right hip bow out to the right. Okay, and then you'll release your arms. Step your right hand so that it's right on the inside of that right ankle. You're gonna roll into the ball of the left foot and sort of shimmy the left foot back so that you can come onto your left forearm. So I have my left forearm down, my right hand on the inside of that right foot. Maybe this is enough for me. You could also have your left elbow on a block if it's actually too much. And then I want you to push actively into that left foot and right hand, and then bend your right knee, squeeze the right heel towards the sit bone, so my right knee is sort of resting on my right shoulder and arm as a shelf, and breathe. Keep knitting the front ribs in, belly is still soft and lifting up, and then just look back behind you, turn your right knee out, lay the shin on the ground, you can just step your right forearm to the ground, and then adjust your left leg back into the midline a little bit for pigeon. We'll be here only about 3 breaths in this part of the variation, so if you want to drop your forehead for a few moments, go ahead. And then lift up, thread your left arm and shoulder all the way to the right so that you come down into the twist. And if you want to reach the right arm back and around to take hold of the right foot, go ahead, or just hold the inner left hip. And breathe. See if you can use the arm going around the back as a tactical cue to breathe more into your back ribs. And then slowly unthread the twist, bring your right hand down and then your left leg down, and then you can step back either to 3-point pose or downward dog, doesn't really matter, stretch out a little bit, and then eventually find downward facing dog. The bottom of the breath, I want you to look forward, prepare, and then hop the feet outside of the hands so you come back to that wide position like we had in our opening sequence. And then fold, and as you fold, see if you can feel the sides of your rib cage connecting with your inner thighs. You might even use your elbows into your inner calves. And then bend your knees a little bit, walk your fingers back. We're not going to go into the arm balance yet. but just use this as an opportunity to sort of feel, okay, how do I connect my arms with my thighs and legs? Kind of look forward here. How do I get more softness in the hips and groins? I'm on my fingertips, you could be on your palms. And then refold over the legs. Exhale completely. On empty, round up to stand. Then step your right foot in and your left foot in. Pause. Tadasana. Inhale. Not Utkatasana, what am I doing? Take your right hand onto your right hip. Draw your left knee towards your left hand so that the palm of the hand is sort of just hugging the left kneecap, and squeeze the left heel towards the left sit bone as you find the flexion in that left hip. Open the left knee out to the left like you're opening a door, but keep that left hip in flexion. So knees a little bit higher than it normally is. Extend the right arm towards the ceiling so you find one long line. Hug that outer right hip in. Right foot, right fingers. Draw your left knee back to center. Take hold of underneath the left foot with the right hand. Your left hand will hold the left shin. So you have this log of your shin and calf in the palms of the hands. And then bend your right knee. Keep pulling that left shin up, soft belly, and then place the left ankle on the right knee, fingers to the floor, fold, ankle to knee. Have a look at your own right leg, right hip. Make sure they're not kind of just drifting off to the right. Okay, inhale, lengthen the spine slightly. Unthread your left foot, step it way back as you stand up. Again, parallel the feet. Take the hands back behind you again. Reverse prayer for the wrist stretch if you enjoyed that, or any other arm variation. Lengthen up for a moment. Exhale, fold forward. And again, you'll have about 5 breaths here. You could come back upside down. You could switch the stretch of the shoulders by interlacing the hands. That's what I'm going to do. If you do that, make sure that you switch the interlacing. Okay, if you come up, do come down. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Turn your right toes back out, walk yourself around. Step back, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Inhale, drop your knees. Take in as much air as you can. Exhale, empty out all the air out of the mouth. Last time this way, soften the belly. Press the legs straight. Feel Uddiyana Bandha flying up of the belly. Inhale. And exhale. Lift your left leg as you inhale. Exhale, left foot, left thumb, right heel grounds. Inhale, Virabhadrasana 1. Exhale, settle in that left thigh a little bit more. Inhale, interlace the hands behind your back, right thumb over left. Exhale, dive. And then stay connected with that left ribcage and your left thigh. Roll onto the right ball of the foot, shimmy the leg back a little bit. Right forearm comes down to the floor, left hand is on the inner left foot. Take a couple of breaths here. Again, you could have your elbow on a block if this is too much. You could just be in lizard pose if you're really thinking this is a bit crazy. Okay, and then push into your hands and forearms. Squeeze the left heel towards the left sit bone. And you're here for about 3 breaths. Feel the connection of your inner left knee and that left upper arm. Corset your front ribs in. And then look at the mat, turn your left hip out in external rotation, walk the left forearm out, wiggle your right leg back a little bit. And come down into pigeon. About 3 breaths in this variation. Aoife, if you're in class, these hips are for you. Okay, and then come up just about halfway, slide your right arm and shoulder all the way to the left. Okay, come around and take hold of the left foot with the left hand, or just hold the outer right hip with your left hand. Either way, use your left arm as a tactical point to remind the back ribs to expand and breathe. Okay, and then you'll slowly release. Walk yourself back around with the hands and either press back into Adho Mukha Svanasana or 3-point pose if you want to pass through. Okay, at the bottom of the breath, look forward, prepare, hop the feet outside of the hands. Lengthen and fold, try to get the torso more through the inner legs. And then I'm going to step my feet in just a tiny bit, so I'm still wide in my Uttanasana, but not too wide. Then you'll bend your knees, try to sort of wedge your elbows underneath you, and then now you can take your hands back behind you, and I have really tight wrists, so I need to sort of shimmy one side and then the other to get my palms onto the floor. But once you're there, I want you to walk your feet towards one another and then squeeze the soles of your feet together as if you were in Baddha Konasana. Don't let the hips sink too much. Keep squeezing towards the center line. And then either come back the way you came, or I'm going to need to release my seat onto the floor. And then we'll meet in Vajrasana, sitting with the bum on the heels. Take the backs of your hands to the side of your rib cage, right underneath the armpits. Just open the backs of the hands, or the wrists, I should say. Okay, and then just give yourself a breath in Vajrasana. Haven't checked to make sure we're still recording, but we are. Okay, and then it's going to be really hard for me to talk and do the next part, so I want to say a couple things before we do it. So, when we come into the next pose, I'm going to ask you to cross your left ankle underneath your right, and I want that left ankle to push against the right. So let me try to show you. I'll try to talk and do it, and not so easy. So you're going to come back into that shape that we had in our last sequence. So my left forearm is on the floor, my right hand is pretty much in line with my left elbow, and my right arm is bent. And then I'm going to come not into plank, I'm going to walk my feet in. And then I'm going to place my right knee back where it was most of class. And then I'm going to lift forward, I'm going to lift forward, I'm going to kind of dodge my left foot in. Left ankle pushes up and to the right. Okay, very hard for me to talk and do that, but you get the idea. You're in kind of Bakasana, but the stance, obviously, of the hands and arms are very different. And then use the crossing of that left ankle to sort of power your leg up. I'm going to do the other side, not talking. So if you need another look, go ahead. Otherwise, you can start to take the first side. Okay, so take a couple moments to play around. I'm going to explore what happened to the music. And then you'll rest again in Vajrasana. Okay, now I'm not going to teach it, but if you wanted to, you could pause me for a couple of moments and move to the wall and take a handstand practice, focusing on lifting the lower belly. And if you're not doing that, you're going to join me and come and lay down on your back. Set up for bridge pose by aligning the inner feet and legs. And then come up into bridge. You could walk your arms together underneath you, or you could hold the sticky mat. Don't let your inner feet be asleep. And when you're ready, separate the arms, slowly come back down. Pause for a moment. You could drop the knees from side to side. Don't pull them into the chest until you're done back bending. Okay, and then you could take one more bridge, or if you wanted to come up into wheel because you just can't help yourself, go ahead. Rest. Okay, and then we're going to do one last hip opener here. So you could, if you have really tight hips, just take ankle to knee and pull the knees into the chest. I'm going to come into half lotus on my back. You could also come and sit up and take full lotus if you have that kind of range in your hips. If you're doing the variation I have, you're in half lotus with the right heel kind of in the left abdominals. You might even feel that heel give your abdominals a little massage. And I'm holding onto the top of my left knee with my hands. You're in full lotus and you're seated. You could also do some arm balance variations, really as you wish. And then I'm going to keep sort of the positioning of my legs as I release and let them fall to the left. Then I'll step my right ankle sort of to my left knee. I'm going to, what do I want to do? I'm going to push my right thigh away from me with my left hand. My right arm will come and turn into cactus as I look over the right shoulder. So starting a gentle twist. And then I'm going to let that right thigh come in. So now I'm really deepening the twist by allowing that right thigh to weigh down. Okay, and then bring yourself back up to center. Again, if you're doing full lotus, just ignore me, do your thing. You're going to switch sides, so either ankle to right knee or half lotus. One side might be a little bit different than the other. Release, but keep the general shape. Let the legs come to the right. Step your left foot sort of right by your right knee. Take your right hand, push the left thigh away. Come into cactus with that left arm. Turn the head to the left. You can use your right hand pushing away your left thigh to give that hip a little bit of tractioning out of the socket. And then reverse, just let that inner thigh weigh down towards the floor, deepen the twist. Maybe you get a little bit of stretching on the outside of the hip. Okay, bring yourself back up to neutral. Bring yourself up to sit. You can be facing the back of the mat, it doesn't matter. Find Dandasana. Give yourself a moment here. Fold forward, gentle Paschimottanasana forward bend. Doesn't have to be the deepest you've ever done. Okay, and bring yourself to sit. You're going to find that little roll that you tucked off to the side and bring it back behind you. And we're going to take Shavasana with the roll right at the base of the shoulder blade. So it gives me a little bit of passive stretching across the chest. If you're not quite there, start to breathe and transition. With this little bit of lift under the shoulder blades, you might find it a little bit easier to breathe and soften into the belly. There's a little bit of extra opening that occurs. And as you start to, I would almost say, descend into Shavasana, it's again a question of how you do one thing, it's how you do everything. So this is still your yoga practice, this is still your time to be focused, fully on the mat, fully present. Much like your Surya A practice, really try and make it the best Shavasana you've ever had. asana for as much time as you need. Thank you for practicing with me. Please leave me a like or a comment so I know you were here. Namaste and thank you.